Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this double Z card. I think it's a really nice summery card. It's a bright, happy card to me. When I first made it, I didn't have these dotty bits and I just felt that the card was lacking something. When I was writing my blog today, I was explaining why I'd added all those dotty bits, and as I was writing I thought, oh, what I could have done was I could have done a few little flowers like that and fussy cut them and then put them over here. Maybe I wouldn't have needed the dots then. So I tried it and this is the one I made. Exactly the same design, different papers, but I just put those flowers there. And I feel that it's made a whole lot of difference because it's balanced it on that side. Now I think it looks really clean and crisp, still very, very summery. So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to do all the dots, I'm going to do my flowers because I've already prepared those over there because I'll be painting that one to show, colouring it rather. I'll be colouring that to show you how I do it, so you didn't really need to see me do those and fussy cut. So this is what I'm going to do. The colour scheme I'm using is Berry Burst and Lemon Lime Twist. So first of all I'm going to tell you the card pieces that we're going to need. Obviously there are a lot of them. Right, so bear with me. So you need a piece of Whisper White cardstock which measures 6 inches by 12 inches, which is 15 by 30 centimetres. You need a smaller piece of Whisper White cardstock which measures 4 inches by 10 inches, which is 10 by 25 centimetres. And then you will need a piece of Lemon Lime Twist which measures 2 7/8 inches by 5 7/8. In fact, you need 2 of these pieces. And that is 7.2 by 14.7 centimetres. And then the designer series paper, which is from Naturally Eclectic, they measure 2 5/8 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 6.6 by 14.1 centimetres. And then you'll need a piece of Lemon Lime Twist cardstock which measures 5 7/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches, which is 14.7 by 14.7 centimetres. And then a piece of designer series paper which is 5.58 by 5.58, which is 14.1 centimetres. And then for decorating the smaller piece of Whisper White cardstock, that one there, we are going to need a piece of Lemon Lime Twist which measures 4 7/8 by 3 7/8, which is 12.2 by 9.3 centimetres. A piece of Whisper White which measures 4 3/4 by 3 3/4 inches, which is 11.9 by 9 centimetres. And then a piece of Lemon Lime Twist which measures 2 7/8 by 3 7/8 inches, which is 7.2 by 9.3 centimetres. And a piece of Whisper White which measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, which is 6.9 by 9 centimetres. And then the last 2 pieces, one is the Lemon Lime Twist is 1 7/8 inches by 3 7/8 inches, which is 4.8 by 9.8 centimetres. And the Whisper White is 1 3/4 by 3 3/4, which is 4.5 by 9.5 centimetres. Now you will also need some scraps if you want to do the extra little flowers. You only need enough to stamp those 3 like that, unless you want to put other flowers in other places. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score our 2 pieces of white cardstock. So I'm going to get my scoreboard over and I'm going to start with the large piece first. That's my 6 inch by 12 inch piece, or 15 by 30 centimetres. And what I'm going to do on this one is I am going to score at, oh, got cramp in my finger. I'm going to score at 3 inches, which is 7.5 centimetres, and then I'm going to flip it over so that I've got valley fold and mountain folds, and I'm going to score again at 6 inches, which is 15 centimetres. And then my smaller piece, again I'm going to do one side and flip it. So first of all it's at 2 inches or 5 centimetres, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to score at 5 inches, which is 12.5 centimetres. Okay. You may have noticed this is a little bit of a change for me from recently, making sure that my folds are going in the right direction. Right, so with the mountain side folding you fold that inside, so just fold your cardstock, score it, turn it over, fold that way, make sure that your sides are lining up perfectly, and then score that. So you've got one piece like that, all 3 different sizes, and then you've got this one. So again, fold the mountain onto the inside. Oh, that looks a bit messy. Looks like glue. Yes, it is. There we go. Right, okay, so folded that one, turn it over, and then fold on that line again. Make sure you're lining up nice and straight. And then you've got 3 sections on this one as well, and you've got one large piece and you've got these 2 which are both the same size. So what's going to happen is we're going to do our card like this, and then we're going to do it like that, so it opens up like this. Okay, it won't ping out of your fingers like that, but there we go. Right, first one, I'm going to put all my layers together. So that's all of these ones. I'm going to use Tombow. Yes, we've been talking about you getting the Tom set up for me to go out tomorrow. So that's very much on my mind at the moment. So Tombow. For those of you that use the metric measurements, as you know, I'm not an expert on metric, and I would appreciate it if you just double check me before you actually cut your cardstock. I am confident that it's correct, otherwise I wouldn't be putting the information out there, but just in case, please. Right, while I'm doing this, it doesn't really need any explanation, so let me just remind you that for everybody who shops in my online shop during January 2018, you will be entered into a free prize draw to win a set of our large letter framelits dies, as well as the, I think it's called Letters for You, the coordinating stamp set. And the way that I'm doing it is everybody's going to be entered into the prize draw, and you get an extra entry for every £50 of your orders, and it means that the totals are accumulative. So if you put in, say, 3 orders during the month, the totals will be added together to find out how many entries you're entitled to. It's not going to be per order. I'm also doing something for those of you that support me that can't shop from me, but I know that you'd like to. Lots of people tell me they would like to, but Stamping Up rules don't allow it. So what I'm doing for you is, if you leave a comment on my blog, I will enter your name for a prize draw as well, and I will be sending the winner a box of my handmade cards, as well as something that is typically English. So if you'd like to be in with a chance for that, head on over to my blog. Full details of these promotions are on my blog. I've got a special promotions page now, so you can go and have a look there. When I first saw this lemon lime twist colour, I really shuddered. I thought, oh no, but it's lovely. It has really grown on me. Right. I haven't stuck that too well, have I? Oh, that's fine. There we go. So that's the first piece. And this, can I adhere these at the moment? I've got to do my stamping. I think I'll just do the stamping first. Right, okay. So the stamp sets that I'm going to be using for the Happy Birthday, that is from Big on Birthdays, and I'm using this bit here. The flowers there, that is all part of the stamp. And on the inside, for the sentiment there, that's from Picture Perfect Birthday, which is in our new Spring Summer catalogue. Those little flowers are from another new stamp set, which is called Southern Serenade. And then this flower is from Birthday Blooms. Obviously you can use any stamp sets that you have. It's unusual for me to use 4 stamp sets. It does happen from time to time, but I do try not to. Right, so the first one I'm going to do is the Happy Birthday, which is this. I'm using my basic black archival ink. And let me just get myself positioned nicely here, because it is a fairly quick drying one, and once you've got your stamp inked up, you don't want to waste too much time hovering over where you want to actually put your stamp. So if I put that there, and then just position that, what appears to be nice and squarely, on your cardstock. This one you may feel that you want to stamp it on a the foam pad, the piercing mat, because it is quite a large stamp, and I have to say it is one of the only stamps that I ever have any trouble with getting it to stamp really nicely. I wonder if that will work. It's a little bit of a spongy. That's my silicone craft mat, but it gives it a little bit of a cushion. Let's see what we've done. Yes, it hasn't stamped too well, has it? But what I do in a case like this, I'm not going to do all of it now because I can go back later and do it. I have a Letraset pen here, fine line drawing pen, waterproof, non-fading, pigment ink, and what I do is I go over where I haven't stamped too well. I would much rather do this than try and line the stamp up again. It does fill it in really well. But as I say, I'm not going to sit here and do all of this because I'm surprised at how poorly I've done it this time. But never mind. I will correct that. So the next one I need is the Today We Celebrate Wonderful, Brilliant, Fabulous You. So let's see if I can do that one better. I know it's not a problem with my ink pad because I topped that up before I started videoing. Right, straight in the middle. In fact, I'll do my matte again. Let's see if that's done any better. Well, that's all right. So that one's okay. Now I need, in fact I'll leave that one to dry for a few minutes because I still need to do the flowers around the edge. I'll do this one. Here we go. Won't need that for this. There we go. Beautiful. So what I need now is my stamp for that. Right, I'm going to be going off the edge here, so this one, I'll bring that back. Hadn't finished with it, had I? So I just stamp these randomly around the sentiment. There we go, that's good. Right, so that should be all the stamping, I think. Obviously, if you want these flowers, don't forget to stamp out your bits like this. So you've got three. Well, three that I'm using. If you want more, I kept thinking about putting something. You can't see that, can you? I kept thinking about putting something down here, maybe a bow on the flower or something. But in the end, I decided no, to leave it. So let's colour this one in first. I'm using my marker pens and I'm using Lemon Lime Twist, Berry Burst and Daffodil Delight. So I'll do my leaves first with Lemon Lime Twist. I'll be posting a photograph of this card on my blog tomorrow morning. So if you check it out, you'll see that I'll have coloured in all those letters. Oh, I'll tell you about what happened yesterday, shall I? Hubby and I went up to London and we went to see Cirque du Soleil. We went to see OVA, that's OVO. It was absolutely superb. It was on at the Royal Albert Hall and we had lovely seats. And the bits that fascinated me most, I've seen Cirque du Soleil several times, but the bits that fascinated me most was the contortionist. What position she folded her body in was absolutely amazing. Also the guys on the trampolines. They were jumping off this wall and down onto the trampoline, about 30 feet, I think. And the trampoline was so bouncy, they bounced all the way up to the top of the wall again. It was really, really amazing. Definitely a show worth going to see. And then after we had been there, we went for a walk, about 20 minutes I suppose, and although it was cold, the afternoon had started off really nice and sunny, blue sky and everything, but it wasn't raining, it wasn't, the wind wasn't bitter or anything like that, so the walk was really nice. And we went to our favourite Malaysian restaurant in London. Had a superb meal, really lovely. And time was our own, so we walked back to the Underground, caught the train back to Victoria, back home again. It was really lovely. There we go, that's Berry Burst. Now this one, I'm going to do the flowers, Berry Burst, and the leaves, Lemon Lime Twist. I don't really try and get any kind of dimension, shading, when the flowers are so small. I think I left a little bit to do the yellow in the middle of the flowers, didn't I? Oh yeah, I did that on the Berry Burst as well. Yeah. I'm not going to get yellow in there on the big flowers now, but never mind, I can do it on here. That's it. It's really great that I'm using 3 different stamp sets for flowers, and all the flowers complement each other, shall I say. I mean, they're not the same, but they do look good together. There we go, so that's the flowers. Just going to do the centre bits with my Daffodil Delight. And I don't worry too much about them, as long as I've got a little bit of yellow going on there. I also think sometimes leaving a little bit of white space helps to give a bit of dimension to your flowers. There we go, so that's that one. And here we go, so I'd lost it. Now I might be able to get some dimension onto this one. And the way I do that is just to colour it lightly first time and then go around the edges again, and that would just make it darker. Okay, so I've got dark on the outside, light in the middle. Again, let's do some dark on the outside. Okay, now just paint that last flower. I also leave a little bit of white space in the centre by the stamen as well, so that I can put some daffodil delight. Right, now I'm going to go back along the bottom of the flower to try and give it some depth. Okay, now do the top piece. Right, now light colouring all over. Apart from my little bit of yellow in the centre there. Now I'm going to go on the edge up the top here again. And then once I've done that, and I tend to finish up with quite a rigid line, if you like, between the light and the dark, then I go over the darkish line, giving it just a little swirl, if you like, and it sort of mingles the two together, so there's no harsh line there now. And now I'm just going to do my yellow bits in the middle. Okay, right, so all I need to do now is put the card together, then I'll show you how we decide where we're going to put the, not that one, how we're going to put the two pieces together. Right, so which way are we doing it? This way? Yep, okay. So let's do the lemon lime twist pieces first. Tombow for me. Fast fuse or tear and tape will work. Yep, that's okay. Then this one. Is that right? Not sure. Oh, that's better, methinks. Right, okay. Off to Natalie's training tomorrow, which means after I've finished the video, once I've started uploading it, I've got to make some swaps. Fortunately, there's only 21 of them. But they still have to be done. Oh no, I still need these bits, don't I? When I've put the card together, before I've put the fussy cut flowers on there, I'll give you a chance to have a look at it to see whether you think you prefer it to have the fussy cut flowers or the dotty bit. I think this is a great colour combination. In fact, I think all three of these cards are really nice, summery cards. I think we're all fed up with winter now. So there we go. Lovely. Now this is the one. Okay. With all the different DSPs, design series papers, and the colours and everything that Stampin' Up do, you have lots of choices of what to use. Right, okay, so what we need to do is we need to get this piece adhered down, and then that piece underneath adhered down. And if you do it incorrectly, you'll find that your card won't lay flat. You'll have a bit sticking up like that. It will still close, but it won't open correctly. So the way I tend to do it is I turn mine over, decide where I want it to go first, and what I want is so that when it's closed, I want it to be sort of central like that. So I'm just going to position that like that. Okay, that's about halfway. That gap's about the same as that gap. So I'm going to just flip that over because I need to know where to put the glue. Okay, so that's the sort of positioning I'm after. So I have a pencil here, and I'm just going to do a pencil mark there and there. So I'm going to put my glue on that bit. Once it's stuck down, what will happen is that bit will go underneath, so it's not a problem. Okay, so let's do it like this first. Again, fast fuse, tear and tape, whatever is your choice. Now you don't need to worry about removing these pencil marks because it's going to be on the inside of the card. Nobody's going to see that bit. Okay, so I'm going to pop that where I want it to go. Get that bit folded on the inside. Make sure that I'm still positioned correctly. Okay, so it needs to go up slightly, doesn't it? Tom Bose says no, I'm not going to go any higher. Okay, I'll settle for that. So I've got about the same amount of gap there and there, so I need to put this bit down. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put my glue on here. again, whatever you prefer. And then holding that down, I'm just going to bring this one over. Okay, nice and easy. And just give that a little bit of time for Tombow to get a grip, or your fast fuse or whatever, and then your card will open. Okay, is that lovely? Now, let me just show you these before I put my flowers on. Okay, this is a completely, let's say, naked one. That's the one the same with the flowers added. Try and make sure that this all stays in the screen. Okay. Now that is the one where I thought that looks bare, which is why I then put these dots on it. Okay, let's see if I put those two together. Alright, I saw that, wasn't happy, so I did that bit. But this is the one that I really like, now with these extra flowers. And that's what I'm going to do on here. Okay, so these are my flowers that I made earlier. I painted exactly the same as I did there, but then just fussy cut them. Just tip that the right way up. So I'm going to use Tombow for this again. That black is really bugging me. That will be done before 21 swaps will be. All a question of priorities. Right, so the first one I'm going to do there. You could pop this up on dimensionals if you like. In fact, shall I do that? Where am I? No, I can't reach my dimensionals easily. Never mind. But you may want to do that. I'm sure it would look nice. Oh, did I do 4? I'm not planning to use a 4th one. I thought the 3 finished it off nicely. That's what I'm going to stick with. Just tilt that at an angle. So there we go. What do you think? Like that one? I'll be interested to hear your views, what you think of them. Whether you like the dotty one or the one with flowers. I've got 2 of now. So there we go. That's today's project. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you decide to give it a try. If you have any questions or any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. If you would like to purchase any of the products that I featured here today, there'll be a link in the box below for my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. And don't forget, if you do shop with me during January, you will be put in the prize draw to win the set of large letter framelits and the coordinating stamp set too. And if you also look in the box below, I will list out all the measurements and all the products that I've used to make this card. If you've enjoyed my video and you'd like to be notified each time I make a new one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.